going on, Pisces? Welcome or welcome back to my channel, Elevated Spirits. It's Jazzy, your favorite Cali reader. This is going to be your 11/11 portal reading. Just going to figure out, or at least find out, what this 11/11 portal energy is highlighting for you guys. What is it bringing your attention or awareness to at this time? Okay, so this is definitely a period of manifestation. The potency of the energies is definitely high at this time. But something else to consider and keep in mind is that the this portal energy is also very indicative of the master numbers, right? The 11/11, which also speaks of duality, the energy of balance, of stability, right? So that's going to also, it feels like, be coming up for a lot of us at this time as well. So just something to keep in mind. So that's part of also what we're going to be bringing awareness to or highlighting in this reading, to better, I guess better support, right, all of us in utilizing the energy as much as we can at this time. Okay, so whenever you are seeing this, remember that is when it is meant for you. So even if this is past, when you see this beyond the 11/11 portal, don't worry about that. Okay, time isn't in the sense that we thought it was. Okay, so let's see, for Pisces spirit, what is this 11/11 portal energy highlighting or bringing awareness to for Pisces at this time, please? Very accurate messages for their highest and greatest good only, and nothing less. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Pisces, what is this 11/11 portal energy highlighting for them at this time, please? For Pisces. Oh, if one flipped over or not. So let's see. Pisces. What is the 11/11 portal energy highlighting for Pisces at this time, please? Okay, so we have the tribe that came through, card number 8. Okay, so for some of you, this year of being the 8 is of significance. We also have message in a bottle. So I feels like Pisces, some of you are definitely maybe stepping into the timeline. This 11/11 portal, it feels like some of you are stepping through into a timeline where some of you are meeting your soul tribe. Okay, where some of you are maybe receiving signs or synchronicities from the universe about maybe where these people are, or maybe like different places that some of you are being guided to go. Maybe you're being invited out places, things like that. Spirit is saying, like, go. That's where you're gonna, it's like you don't know who you're gonna meet while you're there, right? And that's why certain, some people I've heard, years back that people will say, like, especially when it comes to women, like, always look your best every time you go out the house because you never know who you're gonna meet, type of thing. Where it's, I don't feel like it needs to be that, like, surface level or superficial in that sense, but more so about just being prepared, right? That's the best way, ultimately to manifest, where preparation meets opportunity. And that's where it feels like for some of you, this portal energy is highlighting for you at this time, Pisces, where some of you are maybe coming into, alignment with your soul tribe, where some of you are maybe, or even if it's like, by way of like animals, right? Or, reptiles, things like that, of a different species that maybe isn't in human form. Some of you are still, this is your tribe still communicating with you. So I feels like some of you are being asked at this time to be open, Pisces, be open to maybe the different ways that spirit is giving you the signs, or different ways that your spirit team, your guides, are communicating with you at this time. Okay, it feels like if they're using, however it's coming to you, it's the best way that it feels like, they were able to give the message, right? So even if it's, not in the most clearest way for your human mind to conceptualize it, it feels like it's, they're doing the best they can with, the resources they have available to give you the message. So if it has to come by way of a bird, right, they're going to give it to you. If it has to come by way of, showing you a snail or something, or a roly-poly, right, however it is, or a song, right, it's like they're going to give it to you however they're getting it, however they can get it to you. So I would find gratitude in that, honestly, I would find gratitude in that. So boundaries. Okay. So for some of you, it feels like some of you, Pisces, it's like it's being highlighted. This portal energy is maybe highlighting where some of you are needing to maybe not only establish boundaries, right, but also execute them, meaning acting on them, putting them actually into practice. Okay. Where we can say, that we have boundaries with certain things, but it feels like if you're not really using them, you're not really being in a position to have to apply them, you know what I'm saying? Then it's kind of like, what really good is it doing for you, right? So, and some of you, you might be finding that you're needing to establish boundaries within your tribe, right? Even if they're your tribe, doesn't mean that, they just, have free access to anything, or that, your gifts are just, they could just, tell you to use your gifts on spot, on, like on command, right? Because they're your tribe, because they said so, right? This is still about having personal yet healthy boundaries, right? The boundaries we have ourselves is essentially how we teach other people how to treat us, right? So it feels like, for some of you, even if you have found your people, don't, let that be, an excuse or reason to where we just, we don't have any type of form of protection. We just kind of let our spiritual hygiene go to shit, right? Like, whatever that is for you, right? So feels like that's being highlighted right now, to not let that happen. Okay. So even though you may be finding your tribe, your soul, your people, basically, it's still indicative of, you still need a form of energetic shielding as well. Okay. Anything else for Pisces for this? Okay. And change decks again. So home. So for some of you, this has to do with people in your home. Okay. Some of you may be finding that you're moving, that you're leaving. You're maybe going to discover your tribe, going to find your tribe, and maybe people that you live with aren't really on board with that. They're maybe not for that. And that for some of you is where these boundaries is going to be important, to really have boundaries with maybe making sure you're not over explaining, or you're not doing things out of, pleasing other people, doing what other people want you to do or not do, because it makes them happy or keeps them comfortable. It keeps them from changing, right? A lot of people typically don't want to see others change, because that then makes them uncomfortable to the changes they're not making, right? And people will project that onto you. So I feel like, during this time, Pisces, especially for those of you that are finding yourself maybe having, relocating, or being really urged or guided at this time to sell your home, or to, leave what's comfortable, right? Leave the nest, so to speak. It's going to also be important for you to be able to identify where you need to have boundaries with maybe what you share, how much you share, what you give people access to, especially when it comes to your energy, right? Because your energy does translate into your money, into love, into everything else that we want to experience, right? So we need to be mindful of that as well. What else, Spirit, for Pisces? What is this 1111 portal energy calling forth? So we have check in. So this same card exactly came out in the Cancer's reading, but it was in reverse. Okay. For you guys, it's upright. So that's a good thing. Okay. So it feels like, Pisces, when you are guided to check in, or I would make it a habit, if if you're obviously so guided to, it's just coming through more as encouragement, okay, that it will really benefit some of you to really make it a more regular practice to check in with yourself, okay, because that's where when you do that, that is what's going to reveal to you or make it clear to you where your boundaries are strong and where they need improvement, or where they need to be reestablished, or strengthened, whatever that is, where we don't have maybe any at all, right? Where that needs to be present for you, you'll discover what that is, or what that looks like, and all the details inclusive, when you check in with yourself. Okay. I feel like for some of you, you may be finding yourself seeking these answers throughout other people, with mentors and guides, which, that's fine to a point. But at the end of the day, if your mentors and guides are not telling you, redirecting you back to yourself, telling you that all the, really basically reminding you and redirecting you back to where the answer truly always lies, is within the self, they're not truly mentors. Okay. Your answers that you always need for your specific situation will always come from within yourself. Okay. Other people outside of myself, even like myself with this reading, we can, sometimes give you like a spark, give you like a hint, type of thing. But at the end of the day, the clarity, the truth of the clarity in its entirety is always going to only come within yourself. Okay. So I feel like some of you, when you accept that, right, come to accepting that, then you'll know that anything you ever need to know, you'll find when you allow yourself to check in with yourself. Okay. Any boundaries that you need to set, and in your reason about why you feel the need to set them, you can always, again, find those answers when you check in with yourself. When you take that time, make that time to connect in that way, you'll receive the answers. We always do, right? It's just sometimes we don't hear it, sometimes we miss it, right? Because if you're not cognizant of it, if you're not paying attention, right? Anything you pay, that's your paying, right? You're paying your energy, your money, when you're paying attention to the things that don't matter, right? So, it's going to be different for all of you on what that is. But, like I said, it's basically some of you are being really guided at this time, but the answers you need are going to come when you check in with yourself. Okay, and anything you feel confused about, any type of, maybe you're asking, okay, who is the person? Who is it that I need to set boundaries with? Check in. That's what's going to tell you. Like I said, literally any type of answer you ever need, you will find within yourself. But what blocks that is when we expect the answer to come instantaneously or right away, or it needs to come and look like this. It needs to come in the form of these cards, or it needs to come in the form of a song. Like sometimes it won't come in the way you think it will, or you think it should. And so we need to be open to however the message receives it, comes, and be able to decipher, what it's trying to tell you. So let's see, for Pisces. Spirit, clarify this energy for Pisces, please. We have the Four of Pentacles. Okay. Four of Pentacles. First card out. Spirit, what else for Pisces, please? Make it plain. Clear, accurate messages for their highest and greatest good only. Nothing less. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Three of Pentacles. So we have a descending type of energy going on here. Okay, what else? I feel like for some of you, what I'm immediately getting as I continue to pull the rest of the cards out, it feels like some of you Pisces, you're being asked before you do anything, you need to keep what you're doing to yourself. Keep what you have going on. Keep what you may be working towards. It feels like some of you, that is the boundaries that some of you are needing to place, okay, with maybe how much you share, how much you tell, even if it's people that you generally, for the most part, can trust, okay? At the end of the day, you still just don't really truly ever know, right, for facts, without a shadow of a doubt, right, if anybody ever, that you share something with before it actually makes manifest and happens, you just never know if they ever, have just that little energy of doubt, right, or of jealousy or envy that comes up for them, right? Because all of us are always still healing. There's always things for us to work on, right? So as balanced as some people may definitely be, and as much work as a lot of people may have done, it's still very possible. So it just feels like, in a nutshell, basically, Pisces, whatever it is that you have going on, some of you maybe share too much. Some of you maybe get too excited and you tell too many people what you have going on. You're really being asked to, it feels like, keep things to yourself at this time, to hold back. Okay, whatever it is that maybe you were thinking about, people you were maybe thinking about working with, maybe working on some type of passion project, something like that. It feels like some of you are really being asked at this time to really check in with yourself. I feel like some of you may have already had this inkling come up once before, or kind of like a question of like something just doesn't feel completely balanced in a situation. Don't ignore that. Pay attention to that, okay? Because it feels like that is coming up right now for a reason, okay? So, it's obviously up to you what you do with the information when it arrives, but you can't say that, Spirit wasn't trying to help you, right? If we're not paying attention to the messages as they're coming in, through by way of the different ways that it's coming in. Some of you, these are maybe people around you that really care about you, that are trying to tell you like, hey, this business deal that you're trying to go into, like, I don't know, if something just doesn't feel right about it, or maybe this project or something, this course you're thinking about investing in, I don't know, something just doesn't feel right about it. It feels like some of you are receiving messages from your tribe members, whether this is actual people or whether this is coming by way of birds or synchronicities, different, ways that the universe is choosing to communicate this to you. It's like some of you are, definitely being protected, but also needing to make sure you're doing your due diligence in the 3D. Okay. They can only do so much in the ethers, but it's still up to us as well to do our part in the 3D realm. Okay. So let's see. So overall message here for Pisces, Spirit. I feel like some of you, it's giving me more so energy of, instead of talking about what you're going to do, just do it. Okay. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's what I'm getting here. Some of you, this is about, you know, keeping what it is that maybe some of you are gaining. Like maybe if you're receiving like payment for something, keep it to yourself right now. Okay, save it, because it feels like you may end up using it or needing it very soon. Okay, and you want to make sure you have that. Okay. And especially when it comes to telling people what you have going on, that people always, you know, tend to, even if it's coming from a good place, right? But sometimes people still tend to want to give, you know, advice or unsolicited advice to what you should do with something, especially if you, let's say, come into a large sum of money, right? People who don't have that sum of money want to a lot of times give you advice on what you should do with it, right? And it's like they're not really in a place to really give that type of advice if they have never really had that experience, right? They're just, you know, obviously, like I said, they're doing their best with what they know from where they're at, but until they've actually encountered that particular experience, they can't really accurately tell you, you know, what would be best for you to do in this situation, right? So let's see. So it's, you know, kind of like not all advice is good advice. Okay, so overall message for Pisces, please, Spirit. Overall message for Pisces, please. This 1111 portal energy. Two of Cups. Interesting. So for some of you, like I said, this has to do with maybe a partnership. Okay. High Priestess, another two. Okay. This is about your intuition. Okay. Some of you, this can definitely have to do with someone that you are dating. Okay. Some of you may be guided to hold back something that you're working on right now. Okay. Because especially if it has, you know, it has a potential to do really, really well or change your life in a really major way. And some of you, if you're questioning your partner, okay, for those, this feels really specific, but I feel like obviously the message is for whoever it's meant for. For those of you where that applies, okay, where you're dating someone that you know that something that maybe you maybe landed some type of great deal, or you know something, you're collaborating with someone that, you know, it's like whatever it is, some of you are really being asked here, if you're being guided to keep it to yourself, your intuition is telling you, right, to keep it to yourself, do that. Okay, pay attention, check in with yourself. Okay, if it's telling you to, you know, maybe not hold it back completely, but maybe just not right now, do that. Okay, because I feel like at the end of the day, it's happening for a reason. You're getting that message, that guidance for a reason. Even like a lot of people don't even realize this. I mean, as much as we should not have to do that with our, what we call partners, right? The people that we're dating, the people that we're sleeping with, right? You should not have to hold certain things back. But when you're guided to do that, that's, your intuition is never going to lie to you. Okay. It may be uncomfortable. It may be telling you something you don't want to hear, you didn't think you should have to deal with, which I agree, but it's never going to lie to you. Right. So if you're being guided to keep something, you know, kind of to yourself, or at least for the moment, do that. Okay. Because a lot of people don't even realize that sometimes they're sleeping with the whole fucking enemy. Okay. They're sleeping with the whole goddamn enemy, whole fucking demon, right, in the flesh, and don't even know it. Right. So I'm just saying, for those of you that have been like, you know, knowing that you're maybe positioning yourself to exit a toxic situation, that's also coming up for some of you. Okay. Check in where you're being guided to put boundaries, where you're being guided to maybe hold certain things back, where you're being guided to save money or cut your costs in some type of way. Okay, where can I, you know, cut my costs here but grow my money here? Where can I, you know, move money around to reinvest for growth, right, to increase, right? There's some type of action that some of you are needing to take. Some of you have been sitting on deals, on money making deals, that some of you are needing to act on. Okay, and just keep them to yourself, meaning not share them with everyone, and just, you know, put the plan into place, put it, you know, put it into action, right? Start creating the thing, start launching that thing, start, you know, promoting that thing, whatever that is, right? Because some of you don't realize on the other side of that is a partnership, some type of, you know, like I said, it could be a brand deal, but it's like you're not going to get it if you are holding it, you know what I'm saying, so close to your chest. If you don't ever put it out, who's going to find you, who's going to, you know, see it to be like, oh, I want to partner with you, I think we would be great together, or I think your product with my product would be a wonderful bundle for our customers, right? It's like you never know till you put yourself out there. So check in with yourself about what that is for you. Okay, always follow your intuition and what it's telling you, even if it's telling you just to wait a little bit longer, or to, you know, just hold out for this time and wait for another, you know, the next deal, right? Do that. Okay, because I feel like for some of you, if there's something that you're feeling like you're being asked to abandon at this time, or you're feeling abandoned in the situation, you don't really realize how it's actually positioning you to move forward in some type of way, how it's actually realigning you to your actual destined path, right? Some of you don't realize like the detour is actually necessary in a situation. okay? Or what feels like a detour. It's really necessary, but you're not going to know this until you check in with yourself, okay? Because that's where it feels like, again, that's where you're going to find the answers that some of you have been looking for. As much as you may be finding it difficult to trust yourself and to trust the guidance that you're receiving, that's the place, that's part of the process, is learning how to restore that trust by way of checking in with yourself and placing boundaries where it's needed around not only, with yourself, right, but with other people as well. That's how you reestablish your trust. So when you're being guided to not, let's say, hang out with someone, that's a boundary that this person is toxic for me. I'm not going to hang out with them. That is an easy way to help restore the trust in yourself, is because you said, I'm not going to do this thing, and you actually stood on that. You stood 10 toes down on that. That starts to prove to yourself that, oh, okay, we're standing on business now. Oh, we actually mean what we say now, because our actions are proving it, that, when it comes down to it, I can trust what's being, the instruction I'm receiving, right? We can trust our own internal boss because we, said we're going to do this thing, we did it, right? Even if it was hard, even if it was, especially when it's hard and difficult, right? So anyway, Pisces, this is what I have for you. I really hope this reading was helpful. If it was, you know what to do. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, follow, all those good things. And until next time, you guys.